So, a couple of weeks ago, I know last week I talked about the kids. It was the same conversation, in fact. Last week I talked about the kids talking about the ladder, the stairway to heaven dream, with Jacob sleeping in the stairway to heaven, and God is in this place, and that the angels were going up and down. And the kids asked the wonderful, beautiful question, well, why do they need a ladder if they have wings? And that was a lovely thing from last week. In the midst of that conversation, these kids asked some great questions. They started to ask that question, well, what if God is, how can God be everywhere, or God be anywhere if God is everywhere? They started to ask all of these questions about God being omnipresent, and how can God be connected to me if God is everywhere, because I'm only somewhere. And they were having some great theological conversations. Oh, I can only imagine what this week was like. Because they were talking about this week's Torah portion. And this week's Torah portion is Vayishlach. And this week's Torah portion is Jacob wrestling with the angel, or wrestling with a man who our tradition now has told us is an angel, because of some really incredible, mysterious stuff that happens in the midst of this wrestling match. I am not going to talk about the wrestling match tonight. If you would like to find out about the angel and the wrestling match, come tomorrow morning at 9:30. You can come in person, or you can come on Zoom. You can come in your jammies, or you can come dressed up, either in person or on Zoom. And just come, because we have an opportunity to study this incredible moment of our people as Jacob, the one who, and Jacob means that my twin brother was born first. I grabbed him by the ankle so I could be born before him. That's what Jacob means. It means that this is a human being that struggles with other people so much that he is so afraid of not getting ahead that he will grab the ankle of somebody and try to pull them back into the womb. That's Jacob. And here in this Torah portion, we see his transformation into Yisrael. He is still wrestling. He is still being challenged. He is still struggling. And in fact, in this wrestling match, we're going to hear that his hip actually gets dislocated and he limps away. And yet, what does Yisrael mean? You wrestle with beings divine and human and prevails. Even as we wrestle, even as we find that Israel in ourselves, should change how and succeed, by the way. It should change how we physically move through the world. It's an incredible, incredible story. And here's where I want to get back to the kids asking those questions about how does God hear and how is God there? How many of you like the atmosphere? Yes, the atmosphere, the envelope of gas that's around the earth. How many of you like the atmosphere? We're all really attached to it. Right? The atmosphere is all around the earth. It's present everywhere on earth. And yet, how many of you have ever felt a breeze before? How many of you exhale? How many of you inhale? That is one of the ways that Vayetza and Vishlach talk to us about God's presence. On one level, God is those angels going up and down, an atmosphere of energy around us, an atmosphere of current of all of those angels protecting us, guiding us, following us, pointing us in the way, helping us make connections. All of those are the angels around us in that atmosphere of divine energy. And yet, we also have that singular. In this week's Torah portion, Jacob is going to wrestle with one angel. Each one of us, stop for a moment, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Each one of us has our singular moment, our connections, one-on-one. And you can open your eyes because I want you to look. He talks about seeing God and encountering God, panim el panim, face to face. Even as there is an atmosphere all around us, we all have these moments of singular connection right here. And what do we call our breath, by the way, in Hebrew? Life. Chaya. That's one word for breath. What's another word for breath? Or spirit, or wind. Oh, come on, y'all. Ruach is breath, wind, spirit. Neshama. Neshama, I'm going Yiddish here on you, right? Soul, spirit, they're all breath words. In Vayetza, we see the atmosphere. In Vayishlach, we see that one breath of Jacob becoming Israel, interacting face to face with the divine. Sometimes those interactions are singular and unique and personal, and other times we are connected across time and space, just part of this incredible atmosphere of holy sparks of beautiful energy in our world. And so